Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, member of the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and find yourself another episode you want to listen to. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company, Tape Armor, and Rolls Gear. I'm Rob, and this episode, I guess, in the week-long fest of Origin Camp that I'm at, the Origin Immersion Camp, I'm trying to do a show every day. I want to give you guys some good content. So what I got for this one is a roundtable discussion with some of the OGs of the Origin Immersion Camp, guys who've been here since the beginning. It's a good group of guys, James Hoffman, the owner of Trap and Roll Soap Company, as well as some of his friends, and they really took me under their wing, and I appreciate it. I also get a slight interruption from Pete Roberts, the one of the head guys from Origin, as well as Jocko Willink, but that was a slight interruption. There's nothing wrong with that, but I had a great time, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and don't forget there should be another episode dropping tomorrow as well. I like to do the Joe Rogan show, because I'm not Joe Rogan. I always say that every time I start, too.
This is not Joe Rogan.
This is not the Joe Rogan.
This is not Joe Rogan. This is the Roundtable at Origin Immersion Camp.
No, absolutely not. Joe Rogan's
2018 at Camp Laurel. $13,000 for 6 weeks of your child's time. You too can live on what the hell is this lake name? Echo Lake.
With Echo Charles.
With Echo Charles and Jocko.
Although you can't live with Echo Charles.
No.
Roger actually he came over and kicked me and Rob, and he goes, "Sorry, bro. It's just good to see another guy just like me." And I was like, "All right, I got it." He's like, "No, it's good to see you guys too, but it's good to see Raj."
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said that.
He came over
as he's got him in hooks and trying to get his collar. Just good to see.
You rolled with Echo?
No, he just snuck up behind him.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, and we are starting another Roundtable podcast. I guess it's turned into the week of podcasts at the Origin Immersion Camp, because I think we're going to be able to release an episode every day this week at the camp. Pretty ambitious, but who cares? I like it. So, I'm Rob, and I've got 5. God damn. Look, roundtables involve alcohol. I've only had one. That doesn't mean
it's more of an L table, too.
It's not even a round table. So I've got 5 individuals here. If you've listened to past podcasts, you would have heard them, except for one extra. He's not an extra. He's a cool guy, but I'm going to let everybody go around and introduce themselves. Starting to my left.
James Hoffman, Trap and Roll Soap Company.
John Perry, chef extraordinaire. Steve Terrell, counselor.
Roger Alex, just another guy.
Aaron Chester, bicycle mechanic.
The Mechanic. Like the movies are made after you, right? Or was that Jason Statham?
You could kind of.
Wait, wasn't that Charlie fucking Bronson in the
He
original
could be
ones?
that guy.
Handsome Aaron.
I mean, you are bald and you have like the one side. Yeah.
He was like a gymnast or something.
No, he was a diver.
A diver, there you go. I think it was something other
What,
than
Greg
Jason
Louganis eats your
Statham?
heart.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Jean-Claude Van Damme got discovered as a waiter, and he was like doing splits or something.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Serving out wine like the sommelier, like
Tim
Sunshine.
who's not with us, but that's okay.
Yeah,
This
I'm not allowed to call Dunkirk.
He wanted a competition no-gi train with Ryan. Yes.
Ryan. Okay, fair enough. McDermott.
No, the guy that's here.
Yeah, that's McDermott. I think.
I don't know.
I'm just shouting out random last names,
I
dude.
don't know. I thought it was Ryan's.
Yeah. So we were here at the Origin Immersion Camp. It's a week-long camp if you're brave. It's a half-week-long camp if you're a quitter. And in Echo Lake, as James and everybody else has pointed out. So it's good to have a whole group of people, especially ones I've had on the show before, and a new guest, Aaron, as well. I'm excited to hear about him. But so camp so far is a lot different than the other camps I've been to. Not Origin camps, but I'm mainly Globetrotters, and really do enjoy how laid back it is here. It's different, but it's still jiu-jitsu, and You guys have definitely made it a weird and fun experience for sure. staying in a cabin with y'all.
It's only 6 of us.
The cabin meant for 4.
Yeah.
Really? It's only meant for 4?
2,
No.
4, 6. Oh, 8.
No.
When we said you were supposed to snuggle with James all week, you didn't think that normally happens, right?
No, not like sharing an
We
actual
just sleep
bed.
on
with him.
Aaron's floor when we showed up to Maine after the Boss Downs concert, which was dope, by the way.
Yes.
I'm surprised after just one day it still smells decent in there. Like I walked in and I didn't get slapped with funk.
It's because we got a fan.
And we keep the door open.
We got some really good
Rough
soap.
hotel.
Yeah.
And we
Shout out
may
to
or
Chuck.
may not have acquired a washing machine that people were supposed to use for $5, but that was before.
How's that thing work? Does that work?
Great, actually. I watched my
It's
stuff.
dope.
Awesome.
You didn't give him $5. I sure as fuck ain't giving him $5.
No, you owe me 10, but that's all right. We'll
I'll
just
break
pass it.
that fucking thing and you owe me 10 after I'm done.
Oh, nice to see you back out of the pen, Debo.
No, but the funk is not say like for preparation for the camp, you guys came stupidly fucking prepared for this.
All veterans. Everybody here is a veteran.
It gets better every year if that's even possible. It's a pretty amazing experience.
That's
Yeah.
Aaron capped it off with the refrigerator today, so I think we're pretty set.
Shout out to the counselor for a coffee maker.
Yeah, what we got? Mini fridge, coffee maker, probably the most intricate blow up bed I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's pro.
Yeah. What else? Wi-Fi hotspot,
Yeah.
washing machine.
But right next to it, the outdoor mats are.
Yeah.
And the cafeteria's right there.
The cafeteria.
So we got the VIP
We
set
had
up.
our name on we had our name put on the door. Us and Art.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So,
You're not supposed to tell people we got it like that. It's supposed to be a secret.
what's that?
That we got it better than most. That it's not equal as people may think.
No, it is. Everybody's got a bed. And a cubby hole.
And a shower.
And a shower.
And a shower, yeah.
All of them have it. We just have it in a smaller scale. It just happened to fall in like that.
Yeah. Shower built for
Kinda like
a
the
teenage
Beverly
girl.
Hillbillies.
We are the Beverly Hillbillies. Well, we're a very eclectic bunch.
You say we're built like hillbillies?
I said we're the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh.
That was your man partner, your wife, as they called it on the mats today.
Hey, you know what? I'll own that. That's all right.
It's all right.
Your mom still loves me.
Mom, I actually know you listen to the show, so yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Apparently his wife does too. So like I said something, was it in the car? And you're like, no, Rachel actually listens to the podcast. I was like, ooh, I had no idea.
Shout out to Mama
Okay.
Hoffman and Rachel.
We definitely need to edit that.
There you go.
Rachel's hot, by the way.
Damn.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just keeping it real.
I guess this is the honest.
Rachel, if you're listening, you are really hot. Just saying.
Jesus, no, put the ball down. Put the ball down, please. All right, so what do you guys normally take away from these camps? I mean, I'm trying to push into some topics here. So, this is camp number 1 for me, and it's definitely like I said, different format than what I'm used to. Do Globetrotter stuff, but what is the main takeaway you guys have from these camps for whatever you want to call it?
Honestly, I come up to hang out with these guys, do jiu-jitsu, and get away, disconnect. If I can pick up 2 or 3 techniques over the whole week, I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think, this is my 4th camp. I came up as a white belt. I'm still, 2-stripe blue belt. But as a white belt, it's overwhelming. There's so many techniques, and you just kind of get through it. And I'm not sure I learned much, to be honest. I think it was it was more about the people you meet, more about sort of getting yourself into the community a little bit and seeing what other people do. And then the next year was a little bit easier. The next year I kind of knew everybody, at least the group around the table here. And so you slip sort of into it, and then you sort of find your own sort of current. You figure out how you want to do things, how you want to arrange the camp, and maybe that's not the right way to do it because it's only 2nd year, and now I'm in my 4th year, and I really came this year with an agenda in terms of what I wanted to learn, not necessarily what the instructors are teaching. They show amazing things, and you pick up some concepts, like John was saying. Maybe you pick up 2 or 3 concepts, but I really came with the attitude of like, all right, you know what, I want to work on these few things during this entire week, and we're going to roll 2 or 3 times a day. And obviously, overriding all of that in the background of all of that is the camaraderie, is getting to see, some of my best friends here that I get to see once a year if I'm lucky. Obviously Tommy's not here this year, so
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
He's,
yeah,
He's got a picture all the time.
he's listening to the podcast.
there it is.
And having a beer.
He's just quiet because he's got a Go-Gurt in his mouth. It's very small.
That looks like it's delicious.
Yeah.
What flavor is
I
it?
don't know. It's a squeeze. It looks like an apple.
Apple?
Apple pie.
No, it just says apple, man.
Actually, it says grapple.
Grapple? Gross.
Have another
Tommy,
beer.
if you're listening,
dude.
give us a
Grapple.
I agree with Steve.
Grape apple.
I think that coming
Grape
out of these camps
okay,
is so
you got me.
awesome because you get to roll with so many. You can come out and look for and find people that are better than you at whatever you're trying to improve at. So you have like this unlimited resource of body types and techniques to go through. So you can find those people that are here. Just keep going all week and focus on whatever you're looking to focus on. It's awesome.
What's amazing, what I find amazing though is since we really started this,
Yeah, you just ask for another beer on there. It's fine.
Oh, no, we're trying to tell him not to bang the beer on the table.
what I think is amazing about all this is the way that we all connect over social media too.
Yeah.
So when we see each other, it's not like we haven't seen each other for a year or more, because you've sort of been along for the journey with each and every one of us. What are you doing? You see what they're doing on a daily basis. You see what Raj is doing at his his academy down the floor. He's he started with 12
Warriors
kids,
Combat Fitness.
and now he's up to 50, and you see it grow, and you'll be sitting there watching, and you're like, when you turn to your wife, and you're like, holy crap, look what this, and you count them as they're going by the video, like, wow, they're just killing it now, or whatever.
It's funny. It's like a family reunion when you come here. After you've been here the first time, you come, you're nervous. You're like a kid at first day of school or something. You meet people and do all that. And then I had the unfortunate privilege of having Pete himself come over and decide to roll with me first before I did anything else with anybody else. So after he completely destroyed my confidence, I didn't know what to do the rest of the time. But then, you start meeting these fellas, and then you just look forward to it every year. You make connections, and you're networking, and people are interested in what you're doing. So it's not just we're here for the week and I'll see you maybe next year or maybe I won't. You're staying in contact. I mean, like Counselor said, these guys have been down to my school, for my grand opening. So there's a lot of love and support that occurs, especially within our group, and that's actually kind of the special part of the whole thing. I mean, there's the grappling and the teaching and all that's great and everything, and it's worth it. But the networking, the connections you make during camp is what actually is where the real value is of being at camp.
Very cool, very cool. So I know that 6 years. This is year number 7.
This will
right?
be 7, yeah.
This will be 7. How has it changed from the beginning up till now?
It's gotten I don't know, I remember, Aaron, were you at the first camp with me?
Nope, I was at the second one.
I was at the second camp, and we started in a small
There's a yoga room.
yoga/gymnastics room with 2 levels of uncomfortable mats, and then I think you fit like 50 people in there uncomfortably.
But that was the second year too, I think.
Yeah, it was second year too, because that's when I met you, and then it's just evolved through the years until this huge amount of mat space.
Yeah, where we're at now.
Yeah.
To the point where Dahmer shipped. Matt Swain, talked with Pete, and they got their custom mats. Because last year it was only 2, right? And it fit in that field house.
They fit in the field house, and then they doubled it this year.
Yeah, and now this time we have a field house that's the same size, and then we have an open air, which is right behind our cabin. So we just go up there and roll. It's literally like 5.
I don't see myself in the field house.
6 feet. Yeah.
I'm just gonna hang out there the whole time.
And then the instructors just get better and better every year.
Yeah, and everything changes where you have your common core. I mean, is Dean higher than Alexei? No, right?
I think Alexi's
Still
the highest rank.
Yeah, still. Because I don't know. He had Dean talk today, so I was. And that's Dean Lister. Dean Lister showed up last night pretty late with Jocko Willink and Echo Charles. So, but yeah, I mean, camp's been it's crazy because we we get a lot of good instruction, and it changes all the time. You know, every year it changes, and there's like a common core of most of those guys that are here. So.
Well, and they change the agenda every year, which is to fit. They take sort of what was good the year before and say, okay, we had so many people this year. Okay, maybe it's not going to work next year, and they change the schedule in terms of when we're rolling, when we're doing technique, when we're doing open mat. And you know, they spice up a couple new instructors, like having Dean in today. We did Nogi with Dean, and not only was he showing just really good technique, he was really cool. He was down to earth. He was self-deprecating. He was available. People were approachable, things like that. So you're like, damn, this guy's really pretty fucking cool. For his pedigree and his lineage.
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
I mean, it's not just like Dean and Jocko though. You got like Dedeco and Alexi.
Yeah, Dedeco Almeida. Most people, if you don't know who he is, look him up.
Raphael,
Especially if you're a heavyweight. Rafael Belafonte on the WEC. You know,
Pete Roberts.
Yeah. Alexei Pickerel Cruz, if they already said that.
Well, that's the funny part of the whole thing is you talk about like Dean coming or Jocko coming or whatever, and people go, "Oh my God, they're so I mean, and they have their qualifications in their resume, right?
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, but that's really not. You've got, like they said, you got Alexei and Dedeco and all these guys that are world class that you're not even talking about because you're talking about maybe one or two that are mainstream. Everyone knows who they are. But then you get here and there's 5, 6, 7 others that are on that level. They just maybe haven't gone out there and done.
Dedeco's top 10 heavyweight of all time.
Of all time, yeah, all the time. And it's funny because, Dedeco is real quiet and Alexei real quiet are who they know. Mm-hmm. And I lived in Kansas City and I had Hanato Tavares, and I came back from BJJ last year. And he goes, Hanach? And he's like, oh, tell him I said hi. And then he told me a story about Hanato, which was really good.
Which we won't go into on the
So, like this year we have the White Belt Mafia.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, they probably 80.
They stormed the place.
There's more white belts than there are color
There
belts,
are color belts,
which
right.
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
But and the instructors are pulling them aside and working with them.
Yeah.
They don't care what belt you are, how long you've been doing it. We have people who showed up that have never rolled before,
Never trained.
but they're willing to take the time to teach.
Yeah, and some of those guys are here for the week, man. Can you imagine dropping the money on the most expensive camp? But on the most expensive camp, for BJJ, and you've never even bought a gi.
Well, then you got adding travel.
Yeah, and travel too.
Yeah.
I mean, some girl drove down here on a motorcycle this year.
Billy from Wisconsin.
Yeah, and then some dude flew his plane in from from Wisconsin also.
I don't think he's sweating.
True.
Yeah.
Well, we got
It was his
Sunshine
plan.
from Denmark.
Yeah, we picked in,
Yeah.
and Tim Rasmussen did a podcast with us on the.
That was
Tim Ross
yesterday's
That's
episode.
Tim. That's Sunshine.
We got
Sunshine is Timber. Oh, my bad.
we got Azim coming in from the UK next session.
Yeah, he's like
He's a surgeon.
It's good to see him every
he's a hand surgeon, isn't
He's a trauma surgeon.
he? Yeah, trauma.
So we have people from everywhere,
He's like a
every walks of life, and you know what? When you walk on the mat, you're all the same.
Well, that's the thing too. Like with anyone that's sitting at the table, everybody's from a totally different spot in the world, place in professional life. But like this camp gets us together, and from people that you probably would have never met or associated with in your whole entire life. Not Roger. And just like Steven said, man, it's not like we have a group chat and we talk to each other probably weekly, at least weekly. And we check on each other, and as much as we're not around, we share in each other's life. And once we live vicariously mostly through counselor. Especially when he's like, hey, where you at now? He's like, oh, I'm in the Bahamas for a week. It's really tough. Hanging out in St. Martin, so.
But this guy works a lot of hours.
He's living the,
I work a lot of
I'm not
hours,
saying
too.
he didn't earn it.
Hey,
I work a lot of hours. No, I'm upset that you said that.
But like I said, man, jiu-jitsu is and with the inclusion of Rob and Sunshine,
International Rob.
International Rob. Jiu-jitsu
there's
covers
no
all
mysteries.
languages. It crosses all barriers of race, religion, and language. You know what I mean? Because we all share in the same passion. And just like I said, man, we all intermingle. Like that kid flew, and that's another thing to say about this camp if you're not sold on it just yet. He flew from Denmark, never even been to America. He's never been to the U.S. And he's 24 years old, and he was like, I'm going to go to this camp and train jiu-jitsu at Origin.
So he comes, you talk to him on Facebook, oh, I'm coming in, hello, anybody gonna pick me up? And James is like, I'll do it. I don't know if I wrote this, I'm like, oh, he's getting the American.
Yeah, no, you got
American fucking experience right off.
And then we did the You Boys Like Mexico gift from Super Troopers.
The kid has had, in a day and a half, I think he's done more of the United States than most people that live here.
Dude, he's seen and eaten probably the gambit, so he's like seeing what New England's about. Rob too, man. I mean, we've been having a blast, so.
Wait till Wednesday.
Yeah, we can't tell you where we're going to be because this is going to be out by then, so we don't want you following us around.
Yeah, all three of y'all, please don't stalk us.
Yeah. Mom, if you're listening, Roger takes back everything he said.
Rachel, you can come if you want.
No.
Oh my God, I love
And
the
this is
brand.
how it is, 24 hours a
It's
day.
funny, James is on his best behavior in front of the microphones, right?
Yes.
Outside the microphones,
He's got diarrhea mouth.
I think you got
nothing
all-
is sacred.
No.
Unless he's on the radio, he's like, ooh,
No, he's acting.
my
sorry,
mother
'cause
listens.
Rachel's listening, right? Or will be listening. So yeah. See, I got you.
Ah, very interesting.
I was gonna say too, like Aaron, you pretty much you didn't even know me. I just roll in, you're like, hey, got room upstairs.
Yeah, he slept on the floor.
No,
You have a little fan of vacuum.
yeah. I had a fan and I had
You
a.
vacuum? That's mighty white.
Yeah, Aaron goes, I need to go vacuum.
No, it was actually good sleep, man.
Good. I mean, I felt kind of bad, but then not really.
Only kind of
It's
bad.
like,
Only kind of it. No, it was cool, man.
You're
Just
staying for free in my house.
Yeah,
You're welcome, bro.
Yeah, seriously, what is this microfiber? A blanket?
What
I can't
thread
sleep.
count is this?
Yeah, I only sleep on 800 thread.
no, that's solid. I figured.
Yeah, I know that was a dig on that.
No, I've slept on worse, man.
Yeah. Always welcome. Like,
Preach.
Once again, it's all about, we're like family.
No, I don't think we are like family.
We are family.
Yeah. Samurai Jack's at this table. It's because we're family.
Literally, he keeps us all kind of melded together.
It's like a common target to hate on. Actually.
No, you know what? we all get busy, and he kind of brings us all back together. Hey, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, what's up?
Call him the cruise director.
Yes.
Yeah, like before camp, he's on our messaging thing, and he's like, "We're doing this, that. We got this, and this guy did this, and this, and that, and everything." And I'm like, "I'm trying to work. I don't know what I'm doing in the next 10 minutes." And he's got all this stuff planned out. So I mean, that's cool.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast with Ben Moore and
No. Whiskey, women, and donuts.
I mean, you're name dropping right now, but that's cool.
That's a kid that's gonna show us around.
Is he,
Oh,
is
that's
he in camp?
that.
No, he's not here.
He's not in Florida right now, I think.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be here. He said he's taking the day off because John already talked to him.
They stopped us from yesterday.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. No, he's not at camp. He supported Origin since day one, though. He's just never been to the camp, so.
Big shout out to Origin.
Yeah, a massive shout out to
Yeah.
Origin.
Right.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I wasn't saying anything, man. You went on your thought. And you
Rob,
just-
what do you think of the camp so far, personally?
Oh, wow. I'm the one who's fucking asking the questions around here.
Roll
What do
reverse.
you think,
Okay.
what do you think of your Pearl Athlete after you guys see what it comes off of on the loom?
So I'll answer
Go
this in
ahead
two
and
parts.
go ahead and tell your
First off,
experience.
Remember,
so-
this is going out to 5 people, so don't.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Could you go with some-
Whoa, we picked up two. Sweet. Anyways, no, I'm really enjoying it so far. So I think the big thing that helped out about it was one, James shaming me, and I know. Yeah.
Why did
Don't.
you wear a show your roll the first day?
No.
Oh my god, are you a mind reader? No, let him just tell his shit, bro. Oh, that's gonna be super.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. I'll bring that one down.
Please,
It's
okay.
That was a really fucking good high five. Sorry. No, so
He has shit.
I was supposed to be here last year. I had some stuff come up. I couldn't make it. And then the year before, it was you had just gotten done with it, and we talked about it. I thought.
Yeah.
And you told me about the experience. I thought it was really cool. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll do a camp one year. And then this year it finally worked out. That was good. So far, so good. This is what, day 2?
Yeah. And how
that
many
it?
sessions? How many? Tell the people listening how many sessions.
Because the first day is not like a full day.
Yeah. This
Yeah, all right.
is-
So it's day 1.5.
This is first full.
First
day.
full day. So I've had like 3 sessions so far.
Right, and we skipped session. Yeah, 3. We had 3.
We skipped the Q&A to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
When we
Lexi's
broke
going to
into
give me
radio.
shit about that. So for the record, if he hears this, Samurai Jack completely coerced me into being here.
Thanks.
No, I'm sorry, it wasn't me asking you. You have to plug this podcast. No,
He came unwillingly with
Completely unwilling.
also with a luchador mask just mysteriously in his pocket, but
I
just
wasn't-
unwillingly.
No, I was held down and it was put onto me.
Yeah. I don't think all 5 of us could hold you
If
down.
they could see you, they would laugh.
yeah, it's gonna be rough. No, but it's cool, man. I really like it, especially the fact that it's not just a show up and train thing. You actually get to see where all the stuff comes from too. So it's the only American-made gi, yeah.
For real.
Not like cut out and brought over and stitched from another
Or
country.
sewn in California. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're made. You got to see it. Be made in house.
Dude, it's their mission, man.
Yeah.
When you come here and get a feel for what they're really about, like seriously, you go to the factory and you see all the old World War II looms and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And the jobs that Pete has, created and
Resurrected.
manufacturing, the way that he's saving it. I mean, so it's more than just, that's cool, it's made in America and all that, but there's such a massive backstory. And then you come to the camp and you get to feel all that and understand really what it is. And then listen to Pete talk about what he wants to do, and you're just like swallowed up into the whole thing. And like, I don't put on anything else after that. It's the Axiom or Buffs for me, or we're Warriors, whatever. It's their brands. That's it. Period.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan of it. Like, I looked at the Aletta, pulled it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll break that in tomorrow since I got a good rotation going.
You know what they say about a new gi, right?
What's that?
Everybody at the table gets to choke you with it.
Is that true?
It's true.
Well, fucking good luck.
That's what I said.
People who are listening don't know. Like the first night we have a lobster bake.
Oh, oh my God.
402 lobsters that cooked off.
Yeah.
And only people ate some people ate none, and some other people ate like 2 or 3.
Lobster,
Roger, like
butter,
17.
corn.
Listen,
Roger is the reigning lobster champion.
How many?
17 in the city.
Fuck.
And then when trained after, and guess who was his partner? And we're both sitting there going, "Oh, I get the meat sweats," because they gave us that bunk freaking butter.
They give us like
us
that butter that's like it's not butter. It's like some sort of-
Hydrogenized butter flavored
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah.
Oh, so like the stuff you put on popcorn, pretty much.
Watching
Yeah.
him,
No, the popcorn stuff is better.
Yeah, no, for real.
watching Roger choke down 13 through 17. I mean, John's running to get him water because he literally has the meat sweats and he's trying to choke it down. Oh, I'm so
Last year, Pete tried to get me because he's like, "Raj, you gonna do it? You gonna do it?" And he's putting lobster. I'm like, "No, man, I'm not falling for it. If someone sits down and gets to 16, then I'll go ahead and bump it up to 19. Or whatever.
16.
Somebody's got to get to 16 first, and not you don't count
Why don't I count, man?
because you're with us now. You don't count. You have to go on the opposite.
Wait,
side.
what? No. All right.
Samurai Jack.
I guess that's how you're gonna hold on to your legacy.
That's right.
You're part of the
You want
family.
to be part of the family, but you
Hey,
can't eat
no
more than
offense, bro.
14 lobsters.
I mean, you can eat them. I'm just saying I'm not matching it. So if the record stays within the family, like if you ate 17 or 18, I wouldn't attempt to go over that. But if it was someone else, then I might.
Gotcha.
So what's your favorite gi in your rotation?
Oh God, it's probably my show roll.
Which shoyu roll is that though? Isn't it the Dune that you have?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
cute.
that's the only. Well, I got 2 shoyu rolls, and now here's the thing, right?
That were made in Kyrgyzstan.
Yes, they were made.
Kyrgyzstan?
Kyrgyzstan.
By the same people that make every other gi.
Yeah. No, so one was given to me as a gift from Sean, the first co-host of the podcast, if you've been listening, for more than, 2 years. Yeah, he gave me that. So I refused to, I don't know, man, just my principles, man. If somebody gives you a gift, you can't just be like, fuck this.
No, for real.
I feel for, the Family Guy thing where he thought he made the macaroni picture for, Peter made it for Lois's dad. Then he starts stomping on it and he starts crying. I'm like, I know how that would feel. So like, I'm not going to do that to my buddy because it's still a good gi and there's a lot of history behind it. And then Dune because I like Dune because I'm a fucking nerd. And there's only one gi out there that has Dune. That's shoyu roll. Now, if Origin makes a Dune gi,
That'll never happen.
that probably will never happen.
I feel you out there the whole.
Why
But-
is it a Dune? Is it like sand colors?
No. So now you're gonna let me nerd out a bit more.
Yeah,
So.
I had the same question. I was asking.
So it has the Atreides House logo on the leg. It has was it? Huh? So what?
It's a super nerd.
It is, man. It says
Was it Harkonnen on the other one?
no. There's no Harkonnen. It's all Atreides stuff. So like, what was it? They had that, and then it had the Muad'Dib mouse. It says Fears of Mind Killer out, and then on the butt, kind of like those cool pants that the ladies wear that say Juicy on it. It says Walk Without Rhythm.
Anything on the inside of the?
Yeah. It's it was like I brought it to my buddy who's an Arab linguist and he couldn't translate it, so it's just either garbage or I've like insulted so many fucking people from a different country wearing this thing. But no, that's why. That's really why. But right now, my favorite one, I think it's got to be still the 2016 Camp Gi.
Oh, the Axiom.
The Axiom.
The Axiom.
I'm telling you, man, the Axiom has no equal.
It's nice.
It has
still
no
nice.
I know of another company that makes an Axiom.
There's two. There's the Axiom, and then an actual Axiom.
Yeah,
but
and
it's
then
not
an
that.
Axiom.
Yeah.
There is another Axiom from another company that we won't mention.
Well, I mean, that's something. So this is something I'm not bringing this back to I'm not bringing this back to like a certain gi type thing, but it feels like, and I want to make sure I'm not the only crazy one here. So you go to Naga, you go to insert jiu-jitsu tournament here, you're going to see the same shirt done by a million different people.
Right.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of borrowing.
We'll call it
There's absolutely a lot of borrowing.
Yeah. So there's actually there was an issue with the big jiu-jitsu logo, not on my end, but on somebody else using something very similar to the big jiu-jitsu logo with the same text, actually.
Oh, wow.
But I'll tell you guys after who it was, and I'll show you the picture. But it was, yeah. Oh, dude, they're already burying themselves. They're not really it wasn't me, but it's mainly like they're known for taking a whole bunch of orders and never shipping them out.
yeah.
Yeah, those guys. Remember that, right?
Oh, is that the gi people?
We can't talk about it.
I'm not gonna say it because I didn't have personal deals with them, but I heard and heard again.
3 words.
Yeah.
First word.
No, I got you. My instructor had.
Yeah.
I can't say anything.
Yeah, so but if somebody buys them, they have one. I'm not gonna be like, those guys. Fuck those guys. Let me tell you my entire story. It's preference, man.
I would just be like any millennial and run a scathing Yelp review.
Oh, I already have. I said, or no, I can go even further back.
To which company?
Just like any.
Which one of the 7? Now
7.
you people know who we're talking about.
Yeah. Nah, so I can say I can go even further and be like 65 years plus and write to the Better Business Bureau.
Ooh.
Give them a terrible review.
Jeez.
And nobody gives a shit about it anyways, but it just seems like, do you guys feel, I know some people have a little more experience in this areas and probably should have chugged those 2 beers like that, but I'm feeling that now. But do you feel that there's going to be kind of like, there's a whole bunch of people doing it, then it's going to cut off again, and like the people who actually want to keep a certain companies are going to stick with them, and the people who are like, here's a parody of, like Lego guy or whatever, there's a place for that as long as they do other stuff, but their main focus is just making a t-shirt with like a fancy or like a parody logo on it, kind of just fall off.
I definitely think they'll be fall off. For sure.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, because I think in any industry you have those ebbs and flows that you're talking about. You have a period of where there's just a whole bunch of people pile in because there's an opportunity, right? And then there's some consolidation, some big people come in and they see the opportunity, and then there becomes more competition, margins fall, maybe those people fall out of the business,
right? And
then opportunity is created again, and then more people pile in, right? It'd be interesting to see how it works out in this industry, because there's 2 things happening right now. One is, jiu-jitsu is expanding at such an incredible rate. There are more. Just look around here, 80, 100 white belts or whatever. They're like what they are, just consumers, right? And to the extent that they are paying. A lot of people the younger crowd can't spend as much as the older, more established crowd. And those are the people that can pay, and they will pay a lot because of the way that, you know, our sort of brains take to jujitsu. So there probably is more room.
With a Brazilian accent.
More room because the beer wasn't so much a Brazilian accent. There is more room to grow.
Yeah.
So depending upon who it'll really, I think, in my opinion, it'll depend on who captures that market, who more of that market. And then you'll probably see some more consolidation, and some people will drop out of the market, I would think. But I also think because of the age dynamics, and the younger crowd can't afford a lot of times the really high-end gis.
Right.
So there is going to be a market for the lower-end manufacturer, the $60, the $100 gis, and those people aren't going to buy the $300 gis.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's something in jiu-jitsu for everyone, in my opinion.
I think they might buy a $300 gi once they realize that it's held the test of time for 4 years.
If they can afford it.
Yeah, true.
But if they can't afford it right off the bat, you get a lot of kids, 18, 19-year-old kids that aren't financially stable, and they're already paying $180, $190 a month for their gym membership, right? So they're not looking to say, oh, you know, there's the $300 gi that, oh, well, you know, I'll take the $120 or the $90 gi, or they see the sale prices for $60 and they grab that. They're not thinking, oh, what a piece of shit this is.
Right.
They're saying, I'm getting on the mats.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
absolutely.
I bought a Vulcan because it was like $80.
Right?
A Star Trek. That's nice.
It's not,
Whoa,
it's not,
whoa,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
Doom. It's not Doom. It's no Doom.
No, it's not the Star Trek gi from another company.
Never mind.
But
Possibly the same country or company that ripped this up. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
But you know, as you grow in jiu-jitsu, you get the knowledge, and you learn, and you develop, and you see what the best things are.
So my question to all of you is, what brought you to Origin? Why Origin specifically?
Jiu-Jitsu magazine, about 4.5 years ago.
Shout out to Mike Velez, who's actually here at the camp.
Woo, Mike!
What's up, Mikey?
There was a picture of Pete with the Pro Comp 2013.
Him and Dedeco in the factory.
Yeah, Pete. They were doing it, and I was like, look at this shit. I went on the website, and my wife's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, I want this.
PC 2013. And if you're complaining about not getting your gi after 2 weeks, try waiting 6 to 8 months.
Yes.
So if you weren't here at the start,
I ordered on Black Friday,
Go
and
for
I
the
think
stand.
I got it in March.
yeah, it was a while.
But it was well worth it. You know, the pants are great, the jackets. Here's the thing, you can wash and dry the Axioms, they don't shrink. So,
Stephen, what brought you to Origin?
There was a couple of people that came to my gym. We were training an open mat, and they had mentioned the Origin Camp. So I didn't come because I heard about how great the products were. They had mentioned how great the camp was. I was in it for, I had started 6-8 months earlier, and I said, you know what? It's sort of like, you know, thinking about going to camp by yourself. It's like, you're gonna go watch a movie by yourself. Who the fuck goes to watch a movie by themselves? Sure. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm already out of my comfort zone a little bit. And I'm going to walk, and I'm going to go into that camp not knowing a single soul, and I'm going to do it. And that's when I sort of fell in love with, you know, the whole atmosphere and the message that, you know, that Roger was talking about with Pete. I mean, Pete is incredible. For somebody who thinks he cannot speak very well, he nails it. He talks from the heart.
I'm shy.
It's like,
And Alexei too yesterday. You know, I'm kind of shy when I started
Yeah, right.
jiu-jitsu, and he's not shy anymore.
no.
Source.
no, that's what sold me on it. And then, you know, obviously the camaraderie that we've built over the last 4 years brings you back. Even when you say, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do it, or, you know, it's a big time out, it's more money, but whatever it is, we all kept coming back. And I think the overriding reason is not just the instruction, not just the products, it's the group, and it's the dynamic.
Roger.
Actually, my story is kind of similar to John's. I had gotten into jiu-jitsu, whatever. Actually, I did no gi for a while. Then I got into the whole gi thing. And I was actually just looking for a gi different from other people, really. So I was flipping through the magazine, and I saw the Origin ad. And I was just like, well, that's different. I don't see those. So I waited a while, and I ordered one. I really had no more thought into it than that. And I got it. And actually, what's odd is that when I got it, there was a couple things that were wrong. So I'm like trying to get a hold of them, being like, this is wrong, whatever. So I'm getting all worked up. I know you don't care, blah, 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 blah. I'm being that consumer. And, they fixed the problem. They replaced it. They didn't have any problem with it. And then I decided the following year to go to the camp. And then after I did that, it was over for me. I knew that I had to, it was going to be Origin. That was going to be it. That's why it's at, my school. All my kids wear it. It's what we do, because the mission, I think above all else, will keep me at Origin for as long as it stands.
One would say it's not what we do. It's yeah.
You were all.
It's who we do.
He was about to hit.
It's like, it's not about what we do.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't come up with the rest of
Oh,
it.
there you go. It's not about what you do. It's a part of you. It is you. I would say that it reflects you, for sure.
It actually.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron?
I used to be in the cycling industry, and I used to had a rep agency, and I sold really high-end cycling clothing to all the bike shops in New England. Well, I sold really high-end clothing to a very select few bike shops in New England, and specifically because we'll talk about price, because cyclists will spend some money as well, but the clothing that I sold was like a $600 pair of cycling shorts.
Wow.
So, compared to gi, that's quite a bit less material. It's a whole bunch of technology. And if you don't have the right cycling shorts, then that 6-hour bike ride is not much fun. It's apparent when you put on quality versus mass produced. And there's a handful of really good quality cycling clothing companies that address the cyclist and the need for that specific, that time, that passion. And I started training jiu-jitsu when I stopped racing triathlon, and I used to drive 45 minutes to like an hour and a half to go train with all these Brazilian guys in Nashua, and one of them had I think one of the comp, the
2013 PC.
Yeah,
Pro Comp.
and I remember not
Comp
saying
Athletic.
white
No,
belt.
sorry.
I think he was like a purple belt at the time, and I remember just like it just looked so gangster that I was like, oh, I gotta see what that's about, just because I had some references.
Yeah.
Like I know I was wearing this Atama, like pearl. It was just a microwave jacket. I mean, it was literally a microwave jacket. So I got like big giant Atama A2 pants on, and I'm seeing this guy. I'm seeing this dude roll around like a ninja in his gi. So I was like, oh, I gotta check it out. So
It must be the gi.
and I think it was that might have been my first year as 14 or something like that. So I looked it up, and that was my shot to the camp. And then I'm a water freak, and the idea of being able to train jiu-jitsu all day long with 100-something people, majority of which who are better than I am, is like, that's for a week long. The learning curve here is you skyrocket. You leave here, you should like plan a couple tournaments after you leave here, because you leave here with like gangster shit. It's quick. You lose it over time. But
Yeah.
You do it 3 times a day here. You walk away from here. You go back to your school, and you're gonna catch everybody with everything.
You will be somewhere.
Something wrong here.
Nice.
Badass geese, clothing. Yeah.
Very cool.
And that's all I have now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, I've had 7 or 8, I think, but I've got like just 3. I have the 2016 camp, and Axiom, and then 3 Axioms.
The 2016 camp was epic.
That's all.
That gi was off the chain.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to James.
I don't know. I gave it to Rob.
Oh, that's what I said.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
That was a nice one.
it was.
That was the last of the axioms.
That was also the Sam McCoy year.
Big
Big
chocolate.
chocolate.
Big chocolate. I love him. He's been one of my favorite instructors of all time. He has just got such the great attitude. He includes everybody. Not that everybody else doesn't do, but he has a way of doing it. You know, he looks at you and he's never going to remember your goddamn name. So
Look at me lie.
he makes up a nickname. Boom, and it sticks. Everybody looks at you and goes, "Oh yeah, why didn't I see that before that?"
Again,
But
look
he's
at
got
Eli.
yeah. That was fun. He's a good guy, and we get to hang out with him in Florida when Raj opened his school in Lakeland. He's just a good guy.
And that's the thing, actually. When you mentioned that, you were talking about the camp and the
Yeah.
mission, Origin, and all that. I had my grand opening of my school, and I called up, a couple years ago, and Pete, I'm like, hey, can you come down? Now I'm not some big massive account or any of that stuff, so I didn't know what to expect from that. And he was like, sure, what's it? When are we doing this, or whatever. So we planned around some other things he was doing, and he came down and brought the family down, and Joe, his father-in-law. I mean, just all down supporting what I was doing. It ain't like he came through and said hi and shook some hands. I mean, he came through and was running the mat with all the other black belts, and was had a lot to say, and was extremely supportive of what we were
That's
doing.
epic. How many black belts were in the mat that
Oh,
day?
man.
6 or 8?
We had I have a picture of them all. It was a lot. So Alexei was on the mat, Roddy was on the mat, Pete was on the mat. What did I say? Alexei was on the mat.
Ruben was on the mat.
Ruben, Tiago.
Yeah.
The other Ruben.
Tiago brought, I forgot the other guy's name. He was a black belt, that have all these schools, all this stuff. And
Who's that, Rick?
they were all on the mat, and you're watching this thing unfold, and it's just kind of unbelievable, because it's not like honestly, Pete had nothing. It's not like he comes through and he had something to gain.
Oh,
he
your
didn't.
instructor, Ross Callan, was there too.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking a ton of black belts, man, and so he did. None of them. There was nothing they get necessarily from that. I wasn't doing anything for them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just came and did it and supported me, and they were there all day, and they taught. And I had this thing lined up like, all right, we're gonna do a seminar this hour, a seminar this hour. But when they got on the mat and took over, that all went out the window, and they were just
want to do.
doing their thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm watching it. Pete comes over and he's like, so let us know what you want us to do. And I'm like, are you kidding right now? Let you know. Do your thing, man. Let me just spectate and be in amazement.
Yeah.
And,
But you know what's really funny about that was you had all that lineage, you had all those black belts on the mat. Who was the guy that took over?
well, Pete's the guy.
Pete's the, like they all looked at Pete
Yeah.
because Pete can talk, and he has this commanding presence about him. You don't need to know him to see it.
And he's my size, which he's a total denial of.
Right? That was funny. That was really funny. But then the breakout sessions, Roddy, and he's like just dropping knowledge. It was like, and they didn't like. You knew they were there. It was really funny to see the black belts interact with each other because they weren't competing against each other. They were or competing for anybody's attention or anything else. They were like siphoning the knowledge off of each other, and you could see a lot of them had never met. It was like, boom, I want to learn from you. Show me that. And then they get on the mat and they're like, yeah, that's great. What was it, Roddy? He was like, I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I
It's
was trying to figure it out for years.
And then he turns around and is like, oh, let me show this move. And everybody's like,
They just fed off each other.
right? It was great.
Tom was Tommy black?
Tom, it was.
It was not black belt.
He was not
black
black
belt.
belt. Yeah,
Shout out to Tommy.
Stop staring at me, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom is so
There's actually six people at this table.
Tommy just gave me the glare for saying that. President.
Shout out to Tommy Gilligan.
Black belt Tommy.
pretty sweet glasses. We'll say that. So, Jim, as we wind down the this episode, it's pretty nice round table or L table, whatever you want to call it. What are your final thoughts you want to put out in the world for your experiences here? Anything you want to say to maybe convince people to come? I know we've gone through that, or just something, positive you take away outside of the camaraderie, outside of the jiu-jitsu itself.
If you've never came to Maine, to Farmington, Maine, to Origin, to the factory, if you never came to camp, or if you've never watched one of Pete's videos, if you aren't convinced by just looking at the passion and the and just the raw doggedness just sorry, that's not what I was saying.
Damn! Where the hell did that come from?
I meant like bulldog, like just head down. He's going straight for it. They told him they shut a lot of doors in him and John's face and everybody else that's been along the path. And if you're not convinced by just being when you're around him and you're around this environment, it's like an energizer. It's like hitting a recharge button on a battery, and it's almost like every year you got to come back to it. So yeah.
I feel the same way. If you train jiu-jitsu and you're feeling stale, you're feeling like you haven't gained anything, come check it out. Half session, full session. It's going to change your game completely, and you'll have lifelong experiences that you'll never lose.
I mean, I think we talked a lot about Origin today, and I guess my final thoughts, I want to take it away from Origin, and say, to me, coming to camp is more about another step about getting out of your comfort zone for the first time. And whether it's an Origin camp or whether it's another camp, the world of jiu-jitsu becomes that much smaller if you take that step and look to meet new friends and try new stuff.
Oh, we got a couple special guests actually.
Wow.
We got Pete Roberts and the legendary Jocko out in here. How you doing, Pete?
Good. What up? We're just swinging through to see if this is a good room to record a podcast in. Is it?
It's pretty good.
It is.
Yeah, it looks pretty
it's
good. You guys look sharp.
Thank you.
Show
Appreciate
the
that.
picture.
Oh yeah, the picture.
You gotta show the picture.
You guys will get a kick out of that.
Jocko.
We were just talking about you. Now that you're here.
Yeah.
My wife thought it was kind of weird, by the way. So.
Time is here in spirit.
Oh yeah. Call me Gilligan. Yeah.
Did you show the one with
geez.
Aaron?
Oh yeah.
You got look at that one.
Aaron dropping in.
You guys are ridiculous. All right, boys.
All right. We got to keep
What's
talking.
that in your hand there?
What do you got?
What do you got there? Were you bringing something?
You got striped.
Congratulations.
All right.
That's you. Wow. Drop in from Pete and Jocko Willink.
Okay. I will say this. We've already talked about what you get, from up here at camp and all that and the whole thing. When you're sitting there trying to decide if you should go or not, most people, look at, well, it costs this much for a week, this much for, I don't know if I can afford it, I don't know if I can do that. You have to ask yourself, you're training jiu-jitsu, what is your investment in your jiu-jitsu? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right?
Right.
You will get better, there's no question. When you come here, you'll get a ton of takeaway from a knowledge standpoint. Forget everything else we said. The week will give you an entire catalog of techniques and entry points and concepts and all this stuff. You can record it all, you can write it down, you can do whatever you want with it, and you won't get that. You won't get that anywhere else. So do you want to invest that in your jiu-jitsu is the bottom line. The extra, is the camaraderie and the friendships. And Pete is not, to me and to all of us here, Pete is not someone we get something from. Pete's family. Pete's a brother. You know what I mean? And that's, that's true stuff. So you'll invest in jiu-jitsu, but the takeaway will be 100-fold from the dollars that you actually put into it.
Right.
So if you can get here, by all means, get here, do what you have to do, save for the entire year, whatever it is. People do that for vacations. They do it for stuff that will have a lot less of a return than this will if you're actually into jiu-jitsu. If you don't think that, if you're like, well, I'd rather take the money and go here, do this, that's fine too, but that's your priority. Do you follow what I'm saying?
I do.
To do that as opposed to invest in your jiu-jitsu. That's the only thing I can really say about it.
I couldn't agree more. I think the hardest thing about jiu-jitsu is getting out the door. It's like, at the end of the day, it's really just being able to go to class. So if you already understand that, I don't need to explain why you should come to this, because this is jiu-jitsu. If you don't do jiu-jitsu, then you should take that first step. And like the fact that there's a lot of people here right now that have never put on a gi or never done anything like this, I think that's a testament for what this is. I mean, I've never been to any other jiu-jitsu camps, but I do know that the payback for this is that the learning curve, the fact that you get it in with the information. It's like jiu-jitsu is art, it's knowledge, and it's a language. So you don't have to speak the same language, you don't have to paint the same art, and you don't have to know the same shit. But when you get together with a whole bunch of people that are in that same mindset, that do all those things, then your shit can explode. So I think that if you already do jiu-jitsu, then you know exactly why you need to figure out how to get here. And if you don't do jiu-jitsu, then take that first step, start doing jiu-jitsu, and then fucking figure out how to get here.
And if you don't train jiu-jitsu and you're listening to this, why? Like as Andrew Smith pointed out once, yeah. It's my voice, I think, is definitely not my face. So, gentlemen, thank you guys for taking your time out of your vacation to talk to me about jiu-jitsu and whatnot on the podcast. I know it's definitely a handful. Have you spoke already? Yeah. Why are you looking at me? I was like, what is he doing, man? James has this.
He's got the Tommy stare.
Oh yeah, James is giving me this look. I'm like, don't piss off the sponsors. Okay, fair enough. So no, I really do appreciate y'all talking to me, taking time out of your vacation and sitting down the podcast. And thanks, do appreciate it. So.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Big Jiu-Jitsu Podcast, a member of the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and find yourself another podcast you want to listen to. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company. Please get the jiu-jitsu shirt. Like,
all the kids are wearing it.
Yeah, all the kids are, like, do it. Chris,
all the kids and Master 7's athletes are wearing it too.
Do what? Yeah, true. Get it. It's fun. It's a cool shirt. It's the only kind that's being made right now. And you want it and you need it. And we're already getting sold out on certain sizes. So the shirt to wear. Don't forget to check out our other sponsor, Rolls Gear and Tape Armor. Find all of our old shows at bjjshow.com. Subscribe and rate us on iTunes. I'm Rob. We'll catch you guys next time.